Fig fam. All right, what I want to chat today about is sunlight in my yard. Generally, I film in the morning, and in the morning I have shade over here because this is south. So east on the ocean, west land, north behind me, and south this way. So in the winter, the sun comes over here. I get light. And most of these are deciduous, so I'll get more sun in the spring. But at about noon, and now it's about 2 o'clock, I get full sun until sunset. The only part, and you can see where the full sun is hitting, here's the shade from this water oak here. So, full sun, where I get shade. So we're in full sun right now. See, the nursery is doing really well. Here's where I start to get shade throughout, right on the Peter's honey here, because these magnolia trees really grew. Over here in the Stella. So I'm focusing on planting varieties that do okay in shade back here. Unfortunately, this Tarama is not doing great in the shade. It does okay. It ripens figs. It gets fig rust, then loses them. Same with white Genoa. And then right where the sun starts, it's my Genovese narrow AF. That is now taller than me. So now it's a waiting game for figs, guys. This is Col de Dame Noir. Col de Dame Blanc, which I started eating figs off of. And I posted on Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on Instagram, so if you're curious where else I post, Instagram's kind of been my bread and butter, but I want to get more into YouTube because it's a better educational experience for you guys. And then when I go into the nursery here, as far as sunlight goes, you're going to start with almost shade all the time here, and you're going to move all the way to noon sun for the rest of the day. And so as I propagate, and from the greenhouse outside, I start my shade, and I give them more and more and more and more sun as they mature or get comfortable. And then from there, they can go elsewhere. And they get a lot of heat off of this greenhouse here, off the back here. You see that one? It's a Desert King in its second year. It's about 8 feet almost. Top of the greenhouse is 10. So my cuttings get a lot more shade as they root and take. I kind of want to get them more sun. You can see the Stella, and then all these first years. And as the first years grow, I actually move them that way. So they go, as they grow, you get comfortable in the sun, they go over there, and then they go this way. Pretty cool, huh? Some of the Col de Dames need lots of sun. A lot of them need lots of sun, so just doing my best. Has anyone seen figs? This is my godfather tree. It's just loaded with them. Had a later start. But LSU Gold, these are ripening. Woohoo! But yeah, people kept asking, I'm like, okay, where's all the sun? And I was like, this is the extent of shade. So when I get the sunny afternoons, you get the shade here, and you can see it transition out. And when it's July, the sun, this is September, right? So it's even higher in the sky. It's over here. So full sun varieties are on this side of the nursery until you get to the end. And shade varieties are in this corner here that I'm experimenting with. That's the key, experimenting. Stella seems to be doing pretty good, actually. I did regenerative pruning, but last year gave me a ton of figs in July, August. This year, I chopped it down in July. And actually, I pruned it in May, too. So I haven't been easy on it, but it's coming back rapidly. Tarama, I'm on the fence about, guys. Has anyone had a good experience with it? I'm going to pull it up and put a shaded variety, or one that does okay in shaded variety, Ronde de Bordeaux. What a resilient fig that is, and early ripening. So I'm putting Ronde de Bordeaux here. And then Long Jawad is good because they're huge figs, right? But I want great. And it's been just good, if that makes sense, guys. Or longed out. So I kind of want to, after this ripening season, put my Salche here. Salche's over here. Now these have just been put in the ground. I pruned that one just to the ground, but it wasn't doing well, which is why it's just slow to return to health. And this I put in the ground, my Italian honey, and it didn't do well. And I'm wondering, the soil used to be all trees here. And so before we moved in, they ripped out all the trees. All of this black organic matter is against this fence. And over here, not so much. It's a little sandier. And it does seem to be okay over here. And you can see these are about year 3 is obviously when they took off. You know, first year they leap, or first year they sleep, second year they creep, third year they leap. And this is a good third year representation. Especially with second year, I prune them back. It's hard to say, oh, I'm going to prune them back, and then this is all growth this year, guys. That's all growth. I cut it all. If you go to my earlier videos, I cut it all the way back here. Hey, here's a garden protector. A knoll. What's up? Okay. Same here. I cut it all the way back to here, guys. That's all growth in a year. And same with this one. I cut it back to here, you can see. And that's growth, guys. So year 3, they're gonna have sun all the way till it sets tonight. But you can see where my shade is. That's my shade extent. And as the sun gets a little lower in the sky, those magnolias will give me a little more shade out further. But my Peter's honey's been ripening figs. And same with Genovese Nero AF, which is synonymous with I-258, or Italian 258. The only one that I get concerned about is this Heart of Chicago type. And not necessarily because of the sunlight on this tree, because I'm getting full sun, but the roots. So I talked with Wilmington Food Forest, and he talked, this might be the extent of competition for roots underground. So it hasn't been growing crazy like some of my other trees here. But, and it's still ripening figs. I've had like 10 figs off of this thing. But it could be constricted from the root growth of this water oak underneath the ground. And that would also be the case if you go down here with Teramo, where it's competing with the root systems of the magnolias back there. But as far as sunlight goes, I get great lunchtime to all afternoon sun over here. It gets nice and bright and sunny, and that greenhouse all summer long gets well over 100 degrees, so airflow is crucial. And as far as how sunlight works in a greenhouse, I have a greenhouse book that I've been reading. You're gonna have this circulatory motion, right, between sunlight and heat. So you're gonna have high heat, high sunlight, low light, high heat, right? Over here you're gonna have low light, low heat, and over here you're gonna have high light, low heat, right? There's 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how a greenhouse works, facing south, right? Facing south. Top here is your high light, low light, high heat, low heat. So I started my fall seeds here, and I gave them shade, but nice, lots of heat. I gotta water them. But broccoli rabe, red beets, lacinato kale. Oops, another green over there. I have Uzbek carrots, kale blend, bok choy, dwarf kale, chard. So that'll be, I'm in Wilmington 8A. Those will grow all winter long in those raised beds. So when I transfer out my tomatoes, which are done, and I'll leave the kale in, and I'll leave the peppers here, But I'll get sunlight all winter long here. So I'm gonna put some low tunnels here and call it good. But hey guys, that's just a recap on how I can utilize sunlight in my yard. I let them recover, because if I had sunlight all the time, sometimes in the summer it gets so brutally intense here in the heat. So it's nice to start with shade, move them to sun. The only other place in my yard that gets a lot of sun is over by my outdoor shower. In my outdoor shower corner, I have my citrus. So my umbrella papyrus grew this much in a year, and I didn't do anything. It just likes wet areas. So the French drain under here gives lots of saturation for underneath my outdoor shower for the papyrus, the umbrella papyrus. And then there's my citrus tree that made all winter long in the ground. A Wari Satsuma. Shout out to Millennial Gardener. I did everything he said and it did just fine. But it's competing now, so I might put it over here in my microclimate over here. This gets really warm, lots of heat here all afternoon. It doesn't get protected from that tree. It doesn't get protected from that tree. It just gets the light through here. And it's extra hot over here, guys. So you're gonna get that radiant heat from that thermal retention from the fences and the housing structure. So you have my variegated lemon and another mandarin here. This is the Kimberg Satsuma. And that one I rescued from almost death. I pruned it and it's bounced back beautifully off the non-grafted part, or the grafted part. So I'm really, really excited. And I'm gonna basically move that one over here, keep them up against the fence, and bring them inside when it gets really cold. But this is great, great heat and light. And over there. And then my shaded areas are over here, where everyone can play. All right, Fig Fam, I know I gave you a tour of things that weren't figs over there, but I want to kind of show the light in my yard and how to, find the best places in your yard. If you have a greenhouse or look in the greenhouse, that's how I utilize heat and sunlight in the greenhouse. And then I specifically chose over here for all my figs because of this light. And I generally film in the morning hours, but people keep asking, and I'm happy to show you guys because it's just information that I can share, and I can kind of like share my success, but how my nursery works, how my greenhouse works, and how the outdoor nursery orchard works. All right, cheers, Fig Fam. I'll post some more stuff here. If you don't follow me here on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. It's Phil's Figs, philsfigs.com. And I'll talk to you next time. But yeah, if you have questions, always reach out because I'm happy to post videos like these. It's to help show people my setup and how it can my results can further help other people. Cheers.